Hey, what's up, guys? Sandy here, and welcome to the first video of this channel. This channel will mainly focus on farming XP over this next year. If any of you have ever played any online games, you know the importance of farming XP. Games like RuneScape or MapleStory, to progress towards the end game, you need to be farming experience points to get stronger, make more money, and move up in the world. I think this is very applicable to real life. To move towards any of your goals, you really got to be doing the boring work every single day. It's not as flashy or entertaining, but the work has to be done. So I'm treating this next year as if it's double XP weekend every single day. I'm just going to be putting in the reps. So just a little bit about myself. I'm 27 years old, currently work a full-time W-2 job, which a lot of people believe is a stable career choice, but it's not something I want to rely on for income over the next 40 years. So on top of my full-time job, I have an e-com business where I sell products online. Also do some copywriting on the side that generates me a few $100s a month. And some hobbies of mine that I enjoy doing. Um, Big health freak, like lifting weights, training Muay Thai, eating clean. And something that's very nerdy about me is I enjoy building Lego and collecting Pokemon. So I guess a wide variety of hobbies there and interests. But, dudes will be dudes, right? So let's talk a little bit about what I'll be sharing on this channel, which will be several things. Sticking to the theme of farming XP, I'll be sharing how my business is scaling throughout the year. So sharing some monthly profit and revenue, the good and the bad of the business, hopefully the good that's occurring throughout the year. The goals for my business is to double my sales for this next year, which if my math and preparation this year are correct, it should be obtainable. The first few years of business are, like they say, non-profitable. Um, you run into a lot of issues. It's just like learning the ropes. So I definitely felt that. I'm about going on to the fourth year of business. So the first few years were kind of treated it like a side hustle, which you could say is good. Uh, kind of say it's bad because I kind of wasted a lot of time. But I wasn't generating that much income. It was mostly learning what inventory to buy, when to sell it, how to sell it. Um, so it wasn't doing much. And like I said, I was mostly just treating it like it was a side hustle. So it didn't have all my attention and all my effort. So this year, I felt like I made a big stride. I hit a record number of sales, for me at least. I know to most people, they saw my sales in my space. They probably do that in 1 month, but it was a record sales number for me, which I'm very proud of. And I injected a lot of my personal income into inventory this year, which totals out from all the years prior combined. I still invested more this year than all the years prior. So that's a big stride, and I really feel like it's going to set me up for success in 2026 as far as business wise. And I don't plan to take any of the income from the business next year. If even if I do double, or I mean, hopefully do more than that next year, I still plan to reinvest over the next year to really boost me up for 2027 as well. And as you know, any inventory based business, there holds a great amount of risk. So I am grateful to still have a job that's generating me a consistent monthly income. Um, my goal is to keep my expenses low. And from my W-2 job, I want to invest the surplus of income into the S&P 500, stocks, and crypto. As far as crypto, I mainly am looking at Bitcoin. Um, I might mess around a little bit with some altcoins, but it might just be a small allocation. As far as Bitcoin, I'm not throwing in majority of my income there. Just want to do like a consistent weekly buy that's affordable, probably like $100 a week. Uh, in case there is a big correction or big crash that everyone keeps talking about, then I would deviate from the plan and inject more of my income there. The main goal for my investments is I want to hit 100,000 invested over the next year. So I want to share. I'll probably have to switch my account so it's easier to share. Probably like on Robinhood. I want to share like weekly and monthly updates on the portfolio as far as the returns are doing, how much I'm investing, what I'm buying. But I'm mainly going to be a pretty boring investment strategy, something safe. Probably just like VOO, like I said, $100 of Bitcoin a week. And then some of the higher tech stocks. I'll go through that in another video about exactly what I'm buying, but it's not going to be flashy, which I think is going to be a theme on this channel. Um, I think a lot of people online are so quick to show big numbers and kind of compare their chapter 100 to your chapter 2. So, kind of want to just show some reality of what it's like to scale investment, scale a business, and hopefully encourage some of you guys to make the leap too and to not be so overwhelmed that you have to hit the ground running. Um, Anyways, as far as another source of income for me, I do have a side gig where I do copywriting for someone on social media. Currently generates me a few $100s a month. It's nothing crazy, nothing to really brag about, but it is cool to click some buttons and make money online. I think a lot of people uh, talk too much about cutting expenses, which I think is important, but there's only so much you could cut back on. So you can't really overlook the importance of increasing your income. So if you're able to pick up a side gig or even just do something like resell on the side, sell some stuff on eBay or some marketplace, flip a couple things. Increasing your income is probably going to be your best bet in obtaining this financial freedom. So you kind of see, I kind of have my plate full here, kind of leaving no crumbs on the table, as they say. But I guess that's just taking advantage of the power of youth. I wish I kind of had this drive a little bit younger out of college. To be honest, when I got out of college, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just knew that I wanted financial freedom. Kind of wish I stuck to a more structured plan like this. But I mean, hey, that's life. I'll kind of share in another video on like some mistakes that I made when I was in my early 20s as far as financial wise goes, because I did make quite a bit of mistakes. And I'm happy to share that with everyone. So those would be the main focuses of the channel is growing the business, hitting the 100K investment portfolio, and scaling the side gig. Didn't really say, but it's only generating me a few hundred. I kind of want to get that to $1,000 a month next year. It'd be kind of cool to have that side gig pay for my bills. And just, I think it's always important to have a goal to work towards. Operating on autopilot for any of your goals, I think it's very dangerous because 1 year could really fly by, 5 years could fly by, and by you know it, you're just 40 and you're like, oh man, I just wasted all my time. So I think in a lot of activities or things that you like to do, I think it's good to have a plan and just work towards something. That way you're always progressing throughout the year. So those will be the main three focuses of the channel. But I'm also very interested in, like I said, lifting weights and training Muay Thai. So maybe we could do some like physique Fridays or show me hitting the bag every now and then. Just something fun. I mean, it's a great way for me to document how far I've come along from the end of this year to the end of next year. And you might say maybe you're doing too much, but I don't think so. I mean, life's short, man. You really just got to go out there and do it. It's my first time really starting a YouTube channel. I think I had one in the past where it was like an ASMR, but I mean, I only posted like 2 videos. So hopefully this YouTube journey goes a little bit different. I just wanted to get on here and do a quick little intro. Next video, we're going to break down some numbers on what the business is generating, what I'm making, taking home from work, how much I'm making from the copywriting, and I'll kind of break it down as a month by month because as opposed to like a W-2, the business and the side gig aren't a consistent number every single month. You know, one month will be very little and the next month will be much more. So it kind of comes down to an average. Um, I'll share some of the expenses that I have, how much I plan to inject every single week or month to reach the goals of my investment portfolio, just stuff like that. Um, I'd love to hear some of you guys join me this next year on Farming XP. If this is something that you're interested, just make sure to subscribe, leave a like, and drop a comment on some of your goals. And until next time, everyone.